Hello, this is me commenting on my own world record to kind of give some thoughts that were going through my mind while doing the run, and also kind of explaining what I was doing, and maybe somebody who wants to also run can learn from it. I learned most of the basics from the guide that Kill It made. Like one of the basics is just start from one grid. That works fastest and easiest. I did change the map. I went to the Sunshine Peninsula. I found that here you have the electricity and the water facing each other. So with just building one grid pretty quickly, you can have your water supply, drainage, sewage, and electricity going in 30 seconds. I also zone pretty quickly the residentials, do those first so they can start coming in. And once I have the supply set up, I add the commercial and industry. Then infrastructure, I make sure that travel time is as fast as possible, so I pop in those roundabouts so to keep the traffic flowing. And then I start my second grid. This is where I'm gonna put some more industry, commercial, and mostly the high residential zoning. As you can see, as soon as I hit level 1, I drop in 2 boxes of medium density, and then some more commercial, mostly industry, because industry creates most jobs, so you want to have that going. A little bit commercial there, I don't know why. Then I start spamming medical centers. This is one of the hardest happiness factors to get out of the minus in the early game. So I just spam a lot of them and start decking them out with upgrades later on. Cemetery also gives you some upgrades for wellness as well. And attractiveness with the tunes. I don't know if attractiveness works actually, but I add a few of them anyway. Then as soon as I realize I built a hospital where I should have built my waste deposit, I hit level 2, and then immediately I drop everything I was doing to lower taxation, also to increase the happiness. Now I just start building more stuff. Again, after taxation zoning, this is now level 2. I'll just fill in everything. I learned that having a lot of low residential zoning is not necessarily, you don't need that necessarily. They will move into the higher density zones anyway. As you can see in the bottom, the demand for low density also dropped with building the high density. Just keep building some stuff. I add high school, and schools obviously is also good for happiness. I'm almost level 3. Just checking the happiness real quick. See that I forgot to build the power plant, so I drop that in. Immediately go to level 3 is when you can drop the service fees. Also to increase happiness. So it took me quite a while to get used to like training myself to immediately when you level up lower those taxations and service fees, because that will increase the happiness as fast as faster. And happiness is just more attractiveness for people to move in. Yeah, this is when I start realizing that I'm doing a pretty good run. So like 4 minutes in, I'm already at close to 400 citizens. This is where you have a little bit of time to kind of see what's happening. Usually it's, again, medical care that's lacking, so I just start decking out all of the medical units with all the upgrades. This is a pretty easy way to get some XP with not too much expenses, while also increasing the happiness as much as possible. So you're not just building random stuff that doesn't really help increasing the happiness. This is when I really realized that this is a good run. And see, and even though I decked out all of the medical centers, the demand of the happiness was still on a -1. Add 2 police stations, because with the high density living, you're gonna need more of that, and also a welfare office. So I drop one of those in. And again, this point, it's also a bit of a waiting game. Just hope that you build everything, set up everything good enough. Maybe just add some upgrade, because this is also the point where you start running out of money. And even though I was running out of money, I decided to spend some more. I don't actually know if this helps increasing the happiness, but I just do it anyway, because it was also in the Killis run. He actually does it straight up, but I first focus on just the service and keep building stuff. Then I get a loan just to build 2 fire stations. And that's where we almost hit level 4 already. And that's when I pop in the, what's it called, the low rent zones, and then I fill up the rest around the corners a bit with the low residentials, because that demand is still high. And as we're now running for the last few hundred, I built a bunch of those, or like zone them at the start of the map, because they will reach it faster basically. And then some parks and some small plazas. I still have time, I think, to build a taxi station. I've had runs where I went all the way to like having a full bus line and everything going. But that's not even necessary at this point. I'm just watching that counter at the bottom and the timer at this point mostly. For the fun of it, I drop in some stations for taxis, waiting spots, while waiting for that counter to hit. And that's when I realize. Let's go. So it's hitting like 280. I think it hits 300 per hour, which is pretty high early game, so I was pretty excited to see that. Come on, don't fuck with me now. Excuse my French. And that's it. 816, let's fucking go. I retimed it in the video editor. It's actually 816.36, I think. So it's slightly faster than I could time it manually. And actually I was only 1 frame off at the start. So yeah, that's the 8.16 world record, City Skylines 1K record.